Alright guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be talking about the Vancouver Canucks and trying to answer the question on whether they are legit. The Vancouver Canucks made a lot of changes this offseason. Jimbo Benning and the Canucks management team, they had a goal on, completely changing the dynamics of the team and completely changing what our blue line looks like. And the team changed so much so is that many analysts, many fans, we just didn't really know what to expect. It's all fun and games to speculate, kind of create mock up some lineups and try to predict about how the Canucks are going to perform with the new additions, but until they actually start playing, you just never know. And among the big changes comes better scoring depth, more winger support, and a completely different blue line. Hallelujah. Which means no more Derek Pouliot. No more Derek Pouliot. And a lot more Quinn Hughes. Fast forward to today, the Canucks have now played 5 games in the 2019-2020 season, and the Canucks are now 3-2-0 and are currently on a 3-game winning streak. All these games being at home. So what are my first impressions? Well, to start, I think one of the major themes we've seen so far this season is just line chemistry. Line chemistry. When you make a bunch of changes in the offseason, it definitely changes the whole dynamics of a team. And so, line chemistry just doesn't come right away, even if the players that were acquired are highly skilled guys. And with that being said, with the 5 games that the Canucks have played so far this season, it is obvious, it is very apparent that line chemistry just isn't entirely there. We've had too many man penalties, come on. We've already seen lineup changes. And the biggest issue that I've seen personally is just passing. Passing doesn't seem like it's entirely there. It's been sloppy, and at times this season it's led to goals from the opposition. However, passing is definitely one of those traits that strongly correlates to the level of chemistry. So the more you play with someone, passing tends to get better. And within these 5 games, I've already noticed some massive improvements. So hopefully, chemistry just keeps getting better and the games just keep getting better. And I will say, in terms of the 5 games we played so far, the first game against Edmonton was great. The second game against Calgary was just horrible. And, Mike Smith just absolutely robbed us. And then the 3 games after that have been pretty good, really good. There's definitely a lot of pros and cons here, but for the most part, the Canucks have been playing really well. In fact, the first game against Edmonton, Edmonton kind of stole that game. We just couldn't score. So the Canucks record could easily be 4-1-0 instead of 3-2-0. JT Miller has been developing better chemistry with both Bo, Petey, and Besser, and it has been showing. JT Miller now has 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points in his first 5 games as a Canuck, and he's just been playing great. JT Miller is a very well-rounded player. He plays with grit. He has a lot of skill. He can shoot. He can pass, and he's willing to play in any single situation. There was a lot of upset Canucks fans when we traded that conditional first-round pick for JT Miller. But keep this in mind, guys. I want the upset fans, and I don't know if they're still upset, but I want the upset fans to understand the upside that JT Miller brings to the roster. To start off, the first-round pick is conditional, meaning if the Canucks don't make the playoffs this season, we keep the first-round pick, and it means they get our first-round pick next year. Jim Benning, the Canucks management plan was, they hope that this first-round pick is a later first-round pick. And with that being said, the Canucks are definitely in the conversation for being a playoff team this year, if not next year. So it's going to be a later first-round pick. And for a general manager, they pray that a late first-round pick turns into a top 6 forward. It's really a gamble. Every draft is a gamble. Perhaps it can turn into a elite player. But for a late first-round pick, nothing's guaranteed. You hope, you pray that pick becomes a top 6 forward. JT Miller is already a top 6 forward, and he's a great top 6 forward. So, we traded the possibility of drafting someone good, and most later first-round picks don't turn into top 6 forwards. So we traded that possibility and got a guaranteed guy that's going to help our guys like Pettersson. He's going to help Besser. He's going to help Bo Horvat develop right now, rather than waiting 4 more years for a late first-round pick to develop. So personally, I still think the Canucks are on the winning side. Now I'm not going to declare them as a winner, but if you understand that logic, this trade makes a lot of sense. Next topic, Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes has just been fantastic. Guys, I've said it many times now, but in my opinion, he has been the most exciting player every single game this season for the Canucks. He's just so exciting to watch, and I can't wait to see him in person. He basically just wows me every single shift. His breakout game is nearly perfect. His defensive game has been really good. A lot of people were a bit skeptical of Quinn Hughes' defensive game, considering he's definitely a smaller player. And don't get me wrong, he definitely does have his lapses, but his very good hockey IQ and his excellent stick work has definitely compensated for his size. He knows when to take away lanes, he knows when to jump up, and because of his skating ability, he is always able to get back into the play. The best thing about Quinn Hughes' game is his transition game, like I just mentioned. His ability to seamlessly wheel up the puck every time he's going on the breakout is just something the Canucks haven't seen in years. So Quinn Hughes adding that whole dynamic to the game is just awesome. Next topic, Bo Horvat. Captain Bo. Horvat was announced captain in the first game of this season, first home game of the season. His production hasn't really been there, but he definitely has had a great net front presence. For example, against Detroit, I think he was on the ice for all 3 power play goals, and he didn't get a single point. He only has 1 point in 5 games, but he definitely helped lead to many goals this season. So don't worry about his production, it will come. His defensive game is still there, and he's still been playing good. In terms of new additions to the team, Jordie Benn has delivered his classic style of play. Super safe, reliable defenseman that can, he can play in all situations. I'm a big fan of Jordie Benn. So far, I'm happy. It's exactly what I expected, and I'm happy. Tyler Myers. Tyler Myers has played really well. Again, a lot of people didn't really like the Tyler Myers signing. I wasn't against it. I wasn't in love with it, but it's something that we kind of needed if we wanted to change the dynamic of our blue line. And Tyler Myers definitely has the upside. Some of the more negative fans were definitely more skeptical of his physical play. But this season, he's been very physical. I definitely see it like every shift, and I've seen him absolutely toss players, including Mark Giordano. And of course, we just saw that whole fight between him and Adam Ernie. Pretty hilarious. Adam Ernie definitely dived. Adam Ernie. And during the game against the Detroit Red Wings, he was the only person on the Canucks that could do anything against Anthony Mantha. So, definitely that added piece of grit defenseman that we needed on the roster. His transition game has been good, and overall, he's a defenseman who is very hard to play against, and that is definitely something that the Canucks need. Next topic, Michael Ferland. Michael Ferland has definitely probably been the most underwhelming, recent addition we've seen on the team so far. His offensive game hasn't really been there, and he wasn't able to fully mesh with Pettersson and Besser in the first couple games where he was slotted in on the first line. However, I'm not too worried yet though, guys. We're only 5 games in. Chemistry will come. I'm not too concerned yet, obviously. And to be fair, his offensive game, it hasn't been there, but his physical game has been. In the past 3 games, he's had 10 hits in those 3 games. So definitely, again, we wanted more production rather than 1 point in 5 games, but again, chemistry will come, and at least his physical game is there. Next topic, special teams. The Canucks were an extremely underwhelming special team last year, especially the power play, which is really unacceptable when you consider that we had Pettersson, Besser, Bo Horvat on our power play. It just didn't really add up. However, this season has just been completely different. The Canucks are currently 19th in the league on the power play, but, I definitely have noticed large improvements on our blue line. But I definitely have noticed large improvements on the power play. It's a bit weird right now. Travis Green is really mixing up the power play. He's kind of doing like a whole new dynamic that includes like a 1A, 1B type power play. Bo Horvat has been on the second unit. Quinn Hughes has been on the second unit. A bit confusing. I'm not going to say I love to watch it, but I'm going to trust Travis Green for the time being and hope that, he's trying to figure out some type of new dynamic. It's like he's trying to create more depth on the power play, which is a bit confusing. But again, we'll see. Only time will tell. Don't get too frustrated yet. I want to see Quinn Hughes on the first line power play, but I guess when Alex Edler is putting up 3 points like he did against the Detroit Red Wings, you can't be too upset. And in terms of the penalty kill, guys, the penalty kill has just been fantastic. The Canucks are currently second in the whole NHL in terms of their penalty kill percentage, and their penalty kill has just been fantastic. Against Detroit, we killed off that big 5-on-3, and everything has just been playing really well. A lot of people complain about guys like Beagle, guys like Schauer, but those are penalty kill specialists, and they've been doing a great job. Same as Sutter. Penalty kill has been great, so if we can just kind of figure out our power play situation, our special teams is going to be much better than last year. Anyways, guys, what do you guys think about the first impressions of your Vancouver Canucks? Let me know what you guys think down below. And are the Canucks a legit team? So far, I think it's a bit too early to tell. But if the chemistry comes, guys, the playoffs are definitely in sight. But let me know what you guys think down below. See you guys later.